Welcome to episode 37 of My Views Extended. I'm your host, Nadia, and thank you so much for tuning in this week. If you are a new listener, thank you so much for checking me out. If you are a return listener, thank you so much for returning. Aside from this podcast, which is posted on Tuesdays, you can learn more about me on my blog at nadiadanel.com, where I post on Mondays, Wordless Monday through pictures, on Wednesdays, where I focus on various reviews and DIYs, which is every other Wednesday of the month. Thursdays, where I post recipe links back to nadiadanel.com for printable recipes from Nadia's Kitchen Creations, my new cooking channel on YouTube. You can also keep up with me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter, and I will leave links to all social media sites in the show notes. If you have any questions, you can contact me at myviewsextended@gmail.com or on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. That cupping thing that I was talking about last week, and I said that I wasn't going to run out and find a cupping practitioner to get it done because, it's been trending since the Olympics started last week, or a little over a week ago, or nearly 2 weeks probably by now. Well, I decided to try the ones, after some online searching, the ones that you could use at home instead of going out. And what is cupping? Just a refresher if you don't know what it is. Cupping is the process of drawing blood from the body by scarification and the application of a cupping glass, or by the application of a cupping glass without scarification as for relieving internal congestion. And the one that I ended up purchasing from Amazon is, it's a manual suction, so you make the suction by squeezing it, and the suction cups themselves are of a hard silicone, and then you can either use the suction with on an oiled skin, like using coconut oil, so it glides easily, kind of put a suction and kind of use it, glide it back and forth so it kind of has a massage effect, or just suction it onto a spot or several spots. I chose not to get the one where you can actually have a pump action, or the glass ones that you heat slightly. There's no need to accidentally give myself third degree burns. I've been looking for some alternative for the many sore parts on my body for a while. I do have a paraffin wax kit, or paraffin wax bath type contraption, which is good for temporary foot and hand pain relief, but I needed more because the pain is increasing in some parts, especially like all over my body is, that's the same. That's never going away, unfortunately. Well, I shouldn't say that. The overall body pain is there. It's, you don't get used to it. You just learn how to deal with it. But the pain in my feet and in my hands and my forearms, the joints and things, that's getting worse. And yes, I will get to a doctor about it. I know I have to, because it's getting worse in a very short amount of time. This is not gradual like other body parts. So yeah, this cupping is the next step. And I will say that the leftover red marks are a bit of a shock at first, but by day 3 they're fully faded, and some of them are actually faded by the next day. I'll let you know in a while if the effects are last longer, or if I'm back to square one if I haven't seen the doctor by then. I just want some longer lasting pain relief. But I don't know, is anything really forever? I don't know. I think I might take a couple days of relief. That would be nice at this point. Or maybe just get a new body. That might help. Who knows? Internationally trained doctors are coming to the BC interior. I mean, it's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. It's a positive thing, but it's a shame that it's taken so long for them to bring fully trained, qualified doctors from around the world. There have been doctors who have been trying to come here to work for decades now. And I wonder why the change of heart from the government, because the people have been asking for it for decades. Anyway, hopefully this will be a successful program, and that we'll be able to continue to get willing doctors from around the world to fill in the gap of, lack of physicians in rural communities. Not even rural. There's full-fledged cities that don't have enough doctors. But anyway, hopefully this will fill in the gap across the communities in Canada. The communities that are taking part of this $2.8 million Practice Ready Assessment Pilot Program are, and excuse my pronunciation, Enderby, Kiramios, Nakusp, Logan Lake, and trail. And there will be one physician per community. According to this article by globalnews.ca, the internationally trained doctors will be matched with BC doctors who will assess their skills over a 3-month period. The physician will have pledged to stay for a minimum of 3 years in their chosen locations, as long as the physicians are successful in their assessments and become fully accredited. And the 3 months is a great improvement over previous years where, and I'm sure in other parts of the country, where many internationally trained doctors were expected to do their entire residency all over again, which is kind of ridiculous because you're usually at that stage in your life, most people have families to take care of, and do their residency all over again in a new country where your money may not last as long is kind of ridiculous. So yeah, this 3 months is awesome. Enough time for assessment, and yes, you know what you're actually talking about. We can trust you with the people in our communities. Get to work. And of course, as always, I will leave links to that article in the show notes. What do you think about that? Do you think it's a good idea that they're bringing internationally trained physicians, or do you feel that they should open up more spots in our medical schools within Canada? I just realized that I missed my date for, I shouldn't say that I missed my date because it's not an anniversary, but I just realized that it's been a year, a little over a year now at the time of me recording this, since my move across the country, which is Canada for those who don't know. I moved here to BC around mid-July of 2015 from southwestern Ontario, here being to the lower mainland of BC, in one of the neighboring cities to Vancouver. And I really don't want to say the name of the city. I mean, I don't know, you can probably figure it out, but I don't really want to name it because, there's a lot of weird people around. Anyway, so yeah, I'm in one of the neighboring cities to Vancouver, not that far from Vancouver, which probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but I'm being honest. In my personal opinion, Vancouver itself is pretty overrated, but I don't think that's unusual. Most major cities around the world are overrated, whether it's Vancouver, Toronto, LA, Paris, Tokyo, whatever. You get my picture. They're always, I guess if you love concrete, glass, steel, modern look, overpriced living, awesome, go for it. I personally am a nature girl by heart. And yes, you can, for example, there's Stanley Park in Vancouver, but aside from Stanley Park and a few little smaller pocketed parks and areas, that's not what I consider living in the nature. I need water, grass, trees. That's what I need to be surrounded by, not by, or a beach, something natural. That's just me. I'm a nature girl by heart. That's how it is. So for this remembrance, I guess we'll call it, of my 1 year in BC, I'll share 3 things that I love and can do, and 3 things that I can do without in the Vancouver, BC area. For now, maybe next year I'll have more to share, compare, or even a new spot to chat about. First thing, I love the lack of heat. Well, except for the few days of heat or the few weeks of heat, which I just learned it'll be above 30 degrees Celsius in many areas of the mainland this week. So yay for the heat. So even with the heat and my lack of love of the heat, I love that as soon as the sun starts to set, the temperatures do drop. Actually, in the summertime, long before the sun sets, kind of that between 3 p.m. to 6:37-ish in the summer is the hottest part of the day. So that is a good thing that it's not all day and all night, which is something that I do not miss about the I call it the oppressive, humid summer heat of Ontario. But then again, I'm not a heat lover. Some people love the heat. They just will bake in it all day long. They just love they like to sweat, and they like their skin heating up and their muscles relax, and some people just love it. Good for you, but yeah, I'm not a heat lover. The temperatures out here are pretty moderate in general throughout the year, and I did find that a sweater or a spring jacket will get you through the winter in most parts of the lower mainland. I don't know about going up to the mountains, how cold it gets up there, or in places like Whistler, who knows. But yeah, I just found it was a sweater or spring jacket was more than enough. And honestly, most days I kind of regretted bringing a sweater, like I was doing a lot of walking, because I would just overheat so quickly. And then it was so funny. It's like I'm sitting there with my jacket wide open, fanning myself, and other people, I would assume, people have lived here all their life. They're sitting there in like puffer jackets and the full hat or toque on their head, scarf wrapped around their neck, gloves, and they're just like, and they're still shivering. And I was like, oh my God, how are you so bundled up? That's absolute madness. Anyway, so yeah, that is also the one thing that I love about BC is a moderate weather in general, and what I do not miss about Ontario winters, or rather the rest of Canada's winters, because most of Canada gets a lot of snow and a lot of minus 20 and 30 somethings. That's very normal for the rest of us. The second thing that I love about here is the longer farmers market seasons and the amount of them. They are everywhere. You may have to travel a bit to get to them, because for my area there's, I think, one a week. I can't remember if it's one or two a week. Anyway, but one for sure. I don't know if there's a second one. And the rest you have to travel to the neighboring cities, which isn't that far, but I mean, sometimes I just don't have any desire to jump on the SkyTrain. But there are many options for farmers markets, and you don't have to worry about having to bundle up and trudge through snow to get to them in the wintertime. And why I like them, not only because of that, the amount of them, but because you're using farmers markets, you get to pay the farmer directly for their product. So they win by keeping the profit, and you win by saving a bit of money instead of having to pay grocery store markup prices. And you definitely, I feel you get a fresher and hopefully healthier local food than the grocery store. You know, I'm taking advantage of it, because when I was back home, you had to mostly shop at the grocery store. There weren't that many farmers markets or stand options like out here. So if you can, great. If you can't, you use what you have. The third thing that I love is just, I think, the general experience of living someplace new. Yeah, it's not another country, which I do hope to experience someday, even if it's just for 6 months. But it is a change that I definitely wanted to experience, that I didn't want to let pass me by. I didn't want to be 75 years old, looking back at life and wishing, why didn't I take that opportunity? Why didn't I go when I had the chance? I had the opportunity to live somewhere else, and so I took it. What can I do without? The first thing that I can do without is so much concrete. There's so much concrete in apartments and condos. And I know there are reasons for them. For some of them are reasonable, like population, obviously. You have to fit more people in a smaller space. But I'm just not a fan of them. But obviously, it's going to have to do for now. That's what I'm living in. But I do miss my detached house. I miss my garden. I miss my personal land space. I miss not having to censor my loudness, being able to stomp, on the ground or the floor, even if you're like working out, and not having to worry about people underneath you and making noise from your working out. Being able to make as many vibrations as I want, just the freedom to live in your loudness, I guess. The second thing is definitely the insane grocery store prices, hence number 2 of what I love. Why on earth is a block of cheese $5.99 in Ontario? And I did check to make sure that the prices didn't change. And the same block of cheese from the same company is $10.99 in BC. Are we not in the same country? That is absolute insanity to me. So yeah, you better believe, and not just with cheese, with anything, if I can get the price that I'm used to paying back home, I will travel a bit and pick up a stash of cheese or whatever it is that is on sale when I can, even though I have no business eating cheese, but it's cheese. Cheese is magic. I love me some cheese. Anyway, and the third thing that I can do without is the absolutely disgusting garbage smell that floats in every city that I've been to so far on the mainland. Not back home, not in Windsor, not in Toronto, not in Ottawa, not in parts of Michigan in the US, have I ever had to just sit or walk through eau de garbage in my entire life. It is absolutely disgusting. Some nights, even, in these warmer nights, you can't even enjoy the cool down of the evening weather with your windows open because of the smell. It is so bad. Like it's almost like, those the big blue commercial garbage dumps. It's almost as if they're just sitting in your living room. You can't take a stroll. The scenery is lovely, is beautiful. You have the dusk setting or the bright sun if you're, during the day, and pathways and walkways, and you're enjoying people's landscape front gardens, and the air is so nasty. I don't get it. What is up with that, BC, or at least the lower mainland? Because I'm trying to remember when I was in Victoria and a couple other places on the island. I don't remember. I was there when it was warm. It was spring, but they're kind of going through a heat wave already. And I don't remember it having any kind of smell. What is going on? That is the nastiest thing I've never, wherever you go in the city, it smells like garbage and feet. And oh God, it's like, I just want to open my window and enjoy it while I'm watching or something, Netflix or something, or reading a book in the living room and just have that nice breeze coming through. But nope, gotta shut it up. Gotta shut up the window. Overall, I will say in this last year or so and a bit that it's Canada. It's Canada. It's beautiful. You can definitely find beauty or things to appreciate wherever you are in the world if you try. Well, most places, some places. I like to call them, not like to, but I do call them godforsaken. You can find beauty in most places. I definitely will say that the next stop for me, at least in Canada, is on the island. I don't know if Victoria necessarily. It's kind of a bit touristy, but yeah, I'm just not sure where because I have so much more to discover of that place. But I absolutely loved it there on the island. The first and only time that I went there, the moment I stepped off of that ferry, I just knew in my heart that this was where I should be, at least for this next part of my life. When you go someplace new, especially if you've always wanted to go there and you actually get to go there and you just feel it in your heart and your soul that this is home. That's what I felt when I went to the island. Where I live now is fine, but this is not my landing or forever spot. I will just call it my for now spot. If you're from the Vancouver, BC area or any other major city around the world, what do you love about where you live, and what can you definitely leave about where you live? This week I'm grateful that actually, I'm just grateful. I think I've probably said this last year that I'm grateful just that even though the weather is hot as anything, and we're supposed to be having another heat wave, that it could be worse. It could be hot. It could be hot like it is back home, because they're certainly having a heat wave with, between the actual temperature and the humidity, humidex, definitely in the 30s and feeling like in the 40s. And actually, I think some places actually hit 40 or 41 without the humidex reading. So yeah, I'm grateful that even though it is hot, it could be a lot hotter, and that we definitely do have a little bit of relief in the evening with cooler evening and overnight temperatures. And I'm also grateful for that the bugs are at a minimum here. I have noticed that living here that there are very few bugs. I think I found quite a few mosquitoes, but you can actually step out onto your patio and not get eaten alive, where if I did that at home, if I wasn't covered in bug spray, if I stepped out onto the patio in the evening or at nighttime, you would literally get eaten alive in seconds from mosquitoes. All the other bugs are at a minimum, but they are definitely not lacking in the spiders, and not even like the little greenish colored house spiders that a lot of people have, but these suckers are some big juicy ones. Big and plentiful. I had a friend join me the other night because I was sitting there lying in bed, and I was like, for like an hour, I was just in there looking at social media, and I'm like feeling something on me, and I'm like, I keep rubbing it off, but not really looking. And then I finally because I had my one leg crossed over my other leg, and all of a sudden I just see this guy just go up my leg and over my knee, and I was like, oh, that's been you. And well, he was hard to catch, but anyway, yeah. So there are a lot of those nice big ones. The ones where like they're kind of big enough so you can see the little design on their back. Those suckers. Although I don't think they're poisonous. I hope not anyway. But I guess having those wonderful spiders are what is keeping the other bugs at a minimum. So grateful for short-term daily hot weather and for spiders. Thank you for tuning into episode 37 of My Views Extended. I would love to hear feedback and comments of what you think of this podcast and the topics that I've discussed this week. You can listen to My Views Extended at nadiaandjanella.com and on YouTube, where you can subscribe, like, rate, and or leave a comment, and where closed captioning is available. I will leave links in the show notes, and as more listening platforms are added or changed, I will let you know. Until next time, this is Nadia.
Yeah. I slapped this song on my mama like I did on that other one. I don't want drama, just the feel of the morning sun. Told them this what happened to me one day. They thought I was balling in, boy, that was a pump fake. Now the team dumb straight, finding your power. I just be riding the flower of life like it was a bike, feeling like I'm Spike Lee. High key, I'm a demigod, you can call me low-key. Hit them hard with the okie-dokie, like poof. Going with the smoke by the time they finish talking. And I'm feeling the breeze with remnants of Jesus, reasons to live in freedom. Women in queendoms, men are in kingdoms, and they are both in England. We are amazing, you are amazing. Let's get the frequency raising. Love is contagious, love is contagious. Every morning when the sunrise hit my Air Jordan 1s, I glide down the highway on one, doing 85, feeling super dope, super dope. Probably cause I just left out the studio and feel like I just made a hit. Whoa, hey, I just made a hit. Whoa, let me call me like, hey, I'm famous kid. Faux shizzle, I'm gonna make it rain this year. No drizzle, boy, I just made a hit. Whoa, hey, I just made a hit. Whoa, let me call me like, hey, I'm famous kid. Faux shizzle, I'm gonna make it rain this year. No drizzle. And now I'm singing la 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 la, no getting by, ya, frequency high, ya, and pockets why, ya, just made some fire, ya, ooh, it's so fly, ya. Tell mom and dad to drop their plans, go ahead, retire, ya. We making hit after hit, betting that picture's cool, like Cocoa Puffs in the dojo tough, making more dope stuff. Me and my bros, you know my woes ain't gotta no struck. When one ball, we all gon' stunt, yeah. Early morning when the sunrise hit my Air Jordan 1s, I glide down the highway on one, doing 85, feeling super dope. Probably cause I just left out the studio and feel like I just made a hit. Oh, hey, I just made a hit. Whoa, let me call, baby, hey, I'm famous kid. Faux shizzle, I'ma make it rain this year. No drizzle, boy, I just made a hit. Oh, hey, I just made a hit. Whoa, let me call, baby, hey, I'm famous kid. Faux shizzle, I'ma make it rain this year. No drizzle, yeah. I'm so glad that I called, baby. I'm so glad that I called, baby. I'm so glad that I called, baby. I'm so glad. Shh. Well, baby, I'm cruising. Well, maybe I'm speeding, I'm making my music. I'm about to come see you, I just met a slapper. How I feel today to rap. When you hit the joint, you gon' be like, daddy, you a snapper. You probably gon' kiss, I probably gon' like it. Where your bottom lip at? I'm probably gon' bite it off, no shot. I'm so glad that I called, baby. I'm so glad that I called, baby. I'm so glad.